Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning. Happy Friday to you. I hope you got up early to see what's going on in the digital asset space. Wow. BTC is doing what BTC does. Wow. So closed last night, over 13,000, I believe. So we're currently at $13,010. Really interesting to see what BTC is doing. Shoo. Gosh, I got to tell you, that reserve did okay. A little bit of a pullback now. Might be able to gain some, but essentially doubled on that one. Shout out to CKJ for turning me on to that one. Guys, I got to tell you, so the market is doing some really good things. XRP is 25.5 cents, almost 26 cents. So interesting stuff. In the news, I find it interesting that Grayscale, we're going to talk a little bit about Grayscale. They upped their ante again on cryptocurrency. Wow, as though 6.5 billion wasn't enough. So that is interesting to see. My goodness, Brad's still talking about Japan and moving out of the country is interesting. That's an interesting thought. Yeah, I don't know. So it's I just think about what everything that's kind of going on. It's always been talks on different channels about why hasn't Japan, SBI, Japan, Ripple Asia, why haven't they launched? Why aren't they out there just why isn't the consortium in use? Why is it not in production? Right? If they have clarity there, why isn't things going on? Why aren't things moving? That's interesting to me. Why is it not moving? Mr. Yoshitaka Tao, Japan, why aren't they moving? I don't understand it. I do understand. There's got to be a reason why they're not moving. Right? Because they make up their own regulatory clarity, right? They put out their own regulatory certainty, right? Japan, Singapore, right? Ripple's got some fans out in Singapore as well, right? Why isn't there this production? Why not more stuff happening? Right? I I don't understand. Why is that? You have to ask yourself why that is. If it's about regulatory clarity in the move to Japan or Singapore, there's no production there. Why is that? Right? If they've said that XRP is a hybrid or commodity or currency, why no production? Why no? Why you know what I mean? Why no production? Why no utility with the use of XRP? It's an interesting question, right? It's an interesting question to ask yourself. And to me, that always says a bigger picture, right? Because these guys, they talk, right? The leaders of nations talk amongst themselves, and what are they saying? Like, what are they saying behind closed doors that Japan has not moved forward? Right, Bank of England is a Ripple customer, right? It is a Ripple customer. So something to think about, guys. Something to think about. So I thought this was very. Oh, this is Cryptopolis. Where's the? I'll share this with you guys. You guys remember when ErisX was supposed to be kind of coming out and doing this thing with this exchange in the U.S. and it hadn't happened? I think TD Ameritrade is part of that ErisX thing as well. So Cryptopolis, shout out to Cryptopolis, big time value add to the community, XRP community. Hi, congratulations. You are part of the first group of customers to preview our newly upgraded trading interface. We developed a simple to navigate interface and made it easy to place and manage orders. Our new interface is also responsive on mobile or desktop and enables you to trade supported assets from a crypto-friendly workflow. ErisX is the only US-based exchange to offer crypto spot and regulated futures markets on one screen. And I think James Rule shared this. I think James Rule shared this with me with Grayscale, right? Because the big news was here, right? Grayscale now manages $6.5 billion worth of crypto. 6.5 billion worth of crypto, right? Well, that was on the 20th. And the 23rd, Grayscale added another 300 million in digital assets to its portfolio during the last day. So yeah, that's some interesting stuff there in the last 24 hours. So digital asset manager Grayscale Investments has acquired an additional 300 million in crypto over the last 24 hours. Grayscale CEO Barry Silbert made the announcement via tweet late Thursday evening, shortly after his company posted an update to its digital asset portfolio. Added a cool 300 million in assets under management one day, Silver said. The additional sum brings the total held under management to $7.3 billion. The move comes at a time when the hype surrounding PayPal's foray into the crypto markets has drawn additional attention from big name investors, including Paul Tudor Jones II. And we're going to cover something with him as well. Last week, the digital asset manager announced its best quarterly result to date, having brought in just over $1 billion in investment across all of cryptocurrency products. Grayscale is owned by CoinDesk parent company, Digital Currency Group, of which Silbert is a founder. My understanding that CoinDesk plays favorites. Isn't that interesting? They play some favorites when it comes to sharing some news. Yeah, I find that to be very, very interesting. They kind of close the door on relevant news about Celsius Network, but that's okay. Celsius has us. They have the community that will spread the word about how awesome they are. We'll get into that in a little bit as well. Grayscale, 300 million additional assets in digital assets in 24 hours. Interesting stuff. Let's play this here from Marcus Treach. I think this is really important to know because this is ultimately is the bigger picture and the big goal for what Ripple is looking to do. Here's Marcus Treacher. Shout out to I Am Legion for sharing this with the community. Marcus Treacher comes from Wall Street, and he knows from where he speaks. And I love that he took on this project and he saw the bigger picture and is going for it. So let's listen to what he has to say. Hopefully this will play.
Context as the European Union gets behind and supports the growth of CBDCs and domestic digital assets, then the ledgers that Ripple is connecting to, let's say, for example, from a Canadian repository to, let's say, a French repository, if both of those accounts or wallets are run and supported by digital assets, then the value exchange can be immediate, atomic, and have blockchain integrity, even though both ends of the payment exist in very different blockchain environments. One in my example in Canada, one in the European Union. So we're working on the interconnection. We call the model interledger, interconnecting between digital asset blockchains. Now that, if you like, addresses the need for cross-border payments to flow with the same velocity and the same scale that domestic payments can flow to kind of solve half the problem. The second half of the problem is all around liquidity. And the kind of elephant in the room is today the world locks up around, I think it's around 10 to 15, whatever, $trillion at any one time in balances and nostros in different parts of the world to fund payments which are sent in great big chunks at end of day or end of week. The opportunity here with CBDCs running domestically and with a bridge asset, another cryptocurrency model, a bridge asset to connect those CBDCs together, the opportunity is to deliver liquidity on point, in the moment, in microseconds, from one part of the world to another. And the model that we focus on is using XRP, which is a very high velocity and very high volume digital asset. It's a free floating asset, unlike a CBDC or stablecoin. Use it as a bridge currency between these CBDCs.
That is some really, really good stuff. And it is truly the bigger picture. And these are the talks that go on, right, throughout different nations and through different central banks or governments thereof. And I think it's hugely important to understand. I like that phrase that it uses, it's a free floating digital asset, right? Unlike other CBDCs or stable coins. For that matter. So we say on this channel all the time, the ILP, the XRPL, Codius, XRP, just pick one. The technology there is absolutely outstanding. And I get that there are things like like the ILP. But when you can get it all in one house, I think that's a lot, right? It's simpler, right? You can get everything in one shop, which I think is going to be important. So I think that the fact that the ILP is currently still being worked on by the W3C and Ripple jointly, the Ripple created and gifted to the W3C, I think is significant. And I also think that this XRPL foundation that was created and it is being run, and we'll have a governance body behind it, and essentially has been separated from Ripple, the company, is another brilliant and genius move, because I think it will allow the nations and the powers of the world to have a seat at the table in terms of governance, but also realize that there isn't it's not something that's wholly owned by a company, and more importantly, a U.S. company, right? That any nation or representative of that nation can become part of that governance, whether that be someone from a country or whether it be someone like the IMF, the World Bank, the G20, G7, the WEF. I think that is going to be significant. I really, really do. So I think the XRP Ledger Foundation is just getting started. And it's going to be something that's going to be massive, I think, in a lot of ways. Because look, that it can be improved upon, right? And so, even though David Schwartz said it can't handle all of the money, right? That's currently, right? And so, yeah, there's a big, I love. There's a big buffet when it comes to the space. When it comes to cross-border payments, absolutely, without question, that is the case. A big buffet, a lot of players, but I also do think that there will always be a Burger King to a McDonald's, and I think that's important. There will always be a Yahoo to a Google, and I think that is important. I really, really do. And so, interesting stuff from Marcus Treacher. Thanks for sharing that. I am Legion. I appreciate that. This is an interesting thing here. James Rule, XRP. Shout out to my dude. What's going on, James? Appreciate you sharing this, brother. Billionaire investor Paul Tudor Jones called Bitcoin the best inflation trade as the token surges above 13,000. It's just from businessinsider.com. I just think I listened to Paul Tudor Jones. I think they spelled that name wrong. On Squawk Box earlier this morning, and I gotta tell you, the way he talks about what's going on. Let me see something here. Let's see something. I know you guys had to suffer through that right now, just trying to listen to Marcus. Goodness gracious. Yes, guys, the Wi-Fi woes continue. Crypto Eddie, how are you doing? That's, how do you spell? That's too funny. How do you spell? Yeah, I can't spell. Let's see if we can't find this, because it was a good, that's not the one I want though. That's not it. I'll have to get it for you guys another time, because that's not the one. Paul Tudor Jones. So Paul Tudor Jones says, that's how you spell it, says he likes Bitcoin even more now. Rally still in the first inning. Let me see if I can play some of this for you guys.
Bitcoin has a lot of the characteristics of being an early investor in a tech company. And I didn't realize it until after, unfortunately, I came on your show and got besieged by God knows how many different people on Bitcoin. And again, I've got small single-digit investment in Bitcoin. That's it. I'm not a Bitcoin flag bearer.
What does that mean?
But what I learned was, and what I was so surprised by, is that Bitcoin has this enormous contingent of really, really smart and sophisticated people who believe in it. And now when I think of the menu of the inflation hedges, the thing that Bitcoin has, again, it's like investing with Steve Jobs and Apple, or investing in Google early. You've got this group that's, by the way, crowdsourced all over the world, that are dedicated to seeing Bitcoin succeed in it becoming a commonplace store of value.
That is some big stuff right there coming from Paul Tudor Jones. I just got to tell you, that is some really, really big stuff. And when he likens where we are today to being early investors in Google, right, or Apple, we're talking about widely considered the most successful trader ever in history, Paul Tudor Jones. Speaking the way that he does, I think is and kind of singing the praises. You know, we say Bitcoin, but it's the asset space, right? It's this new asset class. You and I understand there are better technology, but it's about the fact that it is the technology that is the game changer, right? And for us to be able to invest in it early like we are is huge. It's not necessarily about that asset BTC, because we know the technology. There are greater and better technologies. But for him to point that really says that where we are is that we're early adopters in this new asset class. But we are investing in new technology. And that is significant, because never ever in the history of business has the average Joe and the average Jane been able to participate early in, if you will, a level playing field in this new technology. You generally, it's the accredited investor. Generally, it's who do you know, who knows type of deal. And in this case, that is not the case. And so that is really, really exciting to hear Paul Tudor Jones say that, right? Because you and I right now, we can hop on Binance US, we can hop on that nasty Coinbase, if you want to use that, right? And purchase these digital assets and invest in this technology, right? So I want to end with this video with this, guys, just to let you know that Celsius.network is doing some amazing things. They just added some more digital assets that you can deposit and earn interest. One of them is UMA. I'm not familiar with UMA. Another one is Uni. You all know about Uni without question. I think that Uni, I think it's a 10%. You can earn 10% on Uni, I believe is the word. What was the other one? Decentraland Mana as well. And they got some promotions for terms of loans, which I think is great. So if you 3,000 or more, in a loan, and you're going to be paid $100 in the US in BTC, $29.99 and less in a loan, and you'll get $50 in BTC, which I think is cool. Another promo that they're doing is you can, first of all, the loan minimum has been reduced to $500 where it used to be $1,000. So you can get a loan for as little as $500 with a 1% interest rate, which I think is crazy. And they also have something where you can actually start an account with Celsius for just $5. In fact, you can start it with $5 and they'll give you $5, which is really, really, really crazy. Asset under management is over $1 billion. I think they have a crazy number in terms of the loans out there now. I think I don't want to quote the wrong number, but guys, do me a favor, do yourself a favor and check out what is going on with the Celsius Network. Link is in the description of all of my videos. I truly believe there isn't a sounder, safe, sounder investment than savings investment than Celsius. I truly, truly believe it. And I encourage you to do your homework. I was just listening to Alex Mashinsky and Brock Pierce, the guy who created Tether, the dude who was running as an independent for the presidential election nominee 2020. Brock Pierce, they were talking together, being interviewed together, and I tell you, they dropped some serious nuggets on us all. So yeah, do yourself a favor, watch some AMAs, as many as you possibly can, and look into the Celsius Network. Right now, in the Crypto Sieges home, we're earning 11.5%. 11.5% on our fiat dollars paid out weekly. 11.5%. You can't get that at your local bank. Can't get that at Wells Fargo or Bank of America or your mom and pop bank around the corner. 11.5%, guys, paid out weekly. It's absolutely outstanding. Monday is just a great day in the Crypto Sieges home, right? It truly, truly is. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me, guys, and I can definitely answer those questions for you. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap up this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.